To be or not to be?
That is the question.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Mark.
Welcome to our weekly podcast, where every week we watch a movie currently available on Tubi.
We have only 25 minutes to discuss and come to the conclusion.
Is this film to be?
Or not to be? Intro, awesome. And we're in, okay. Well, Nick, welcome. This is our first episode of a dumb idea we kind of had. We're going to pick a movie, and after a brief introduction, we're going to set a timer for 25 minutes. We're going to have only 25 minutes to share our thoughts and come to the conclusion of whether or not a film is to be or not to be. Essentially, if it's to be, then it passes, and if it's not to be, well, then that's too bad. So what do you think, Nick? Are you ready for our first episode?
I am. It seems that we've been watching a Tubi movie almost every week or so. So it just seemed natural now to sort of have a conversation about them.
Yeah, why not, share conversations, get something started, and also, I get to subject you to whatever I want each week, and you me, so...
Yeah, and I'll be frank, with this first one, I went completely off the title and the cover. I didn't even go off the blurb. Hey,
they say don't judge a film by the book by its cover, but they weren't talking about films. Okay, well then that's great. That brings us right into our first choice, which is Within the Rock.
Yeah, this
came out in 1996. It came out in 1996. It's an hour and 28 minutes, rated R, horror and science fiction. It's about a motley crew of space miners sent to stop a rogue asteroid's collision course with Earth that unwittingly awakens a deadly hibernating creature. It's in English. It stars Xander, BerkeleyCaroline, BarclayBradford, TatumBrian, Krause, and Barbara Patrick. And it's directed by Gary J. Tunnicliffe. I hope I'm saying that right. So, Nick, you picked this out. Did you want to read the back of the box? You got a back of a box to read for us, don't you?
Sure. I actually have both the front and the back. So the front says, from the special effects creator of Hellraiser, in space, there's nowhere to hide. Now, on the back of the box, it says, in space, fear waits. A runaway moon hurtles through space on a collision course with Earth. Dr. Dana Shaw takes command of an off-world team of miners who are sent to alter the moon's course. As the miners tunnel through the moon to complete their mission, they encounter a platinum chamber etched with hieroglyphics. Inside, Shaw finds what appears to be a fossilized alien. Their leader, Ryan, can only think about the profits. But the fossil is exposed to a nitrogen atmosphere. The alien is brought back to life. Upon deciphering the hieroglyphics, Shaw and Ryan realize the true horror of what they have unleashed. The ultimate predator, an indestructible killing machine. Earth has only 3 months to live. The team on Galileo's Child pray to make it through the night. Starring Caroline Barclay in her first major role since Species, and Xander Berkeley, who starred opposite Pamela Anderson in Barbed Wire.
Awesome. So we're gonna cut to the trailer right now.
In the outer reaches of the solar system, a new moon is discovered, hurtling towards Earth.
We've got about 6 months before this moon is scheduled to impact the Earth.
The effects will be catastrophic.
The planet's hopes rest with an outcast crew of space miners. Only they can change the trajectory of the moon.
What we got here?
We scanned this rock. There was no sign of indigenous animal life.
This was a carnivore.
We got a visitor. Oh my God.
It's territorial and it goes with a feeding scud. If we're we're out there. Ape show.
The hunters become the hunted as the countdown to destruction begins. A universe of terror lies waiting within the rock. From Apex Entertainment, rated R.
And, okay, well, here we go. We only have 25 minutes now. I'm going to start the timer very soon. And then we're going to have to share our thoughts and come to the conclusion if it's to be or not to be. And, yeah, is there any last-second things you want to add or before we like kind of dive in earnest and share our thoughts about the movie itself?
I think maybe the only thing I would add before we actually talk about the movie itself is that it was a made-for-TV movie made for the Sci-Fi Channel.
Yeah, I sort of could gather that from, I noticed the aspect ratio. It was like the full screen aspect ratio. So I was like, oh, this probably was made for TV. Yeah, I was having thoughts along those lines. It also told us that it was restored at the very beginning too. So thanks for the people that put that together for us. So yeah, that's good idea, and good thing to keep in mind. Anything else before we dive in, or?
No, I think that's. I think we're ready to dive right into the conversation.
Oops. Okay. Well, I'm gonna set a timer, but I want the classic. There we go. That's a timer sound. Okay. So I'll set the timer for 25 minutes, and it's gonna start in 3, 2, 1. All right, we're live. We're going. So here we go. Well, Nick, you chose this. Do you want to get us started, or would you rather me?
Sure, I'll start it. I'll start it where the movie starts. 200 million years ago. This movie has a bit of a weird time scale because it has that backstory happened 200 million years ago, where these aliens captured the beast, put it in a cube and sent it off into space.
Yeah, Planet Trillium.
Yeah, and the movie itself was made in 1996, but it's set in the year 2019. So it's kind of I have to wonder if that was just a mistake or just, yeah, we'll be mining in space in 23 years.
Oh, yeah, well, I mean, I gotta say, like, the movie kind of has a rough start for me. Like the first thing I noticed was there's this waterfall shot that was probably supposed to be shot like at a wider aspect ratio, and you've got this like, it's at least an interesting idea, but it totally doesn't work. And then they start talking about speed tunnels, and I'm wondering if like Elon Musk maybe got his ideas from this. And I don't know. I was like kind of going, uh-oh, like at the very, very beginning of this movie. I have to admit, we had the cool cold open, the Starfield credits, and then I don't know, this sort of first scene on Earth just kind of confused me more than got me ready or excited.
Yeah, like the actual very first scene before we got to Earth was the aliens sealing the beast in the cube. And I thought that looked cool. Like the costume the alien had, that we see them putting the rivets in. I thought I'm like, oh, okay. It's like, it doesn't look high production quality, but it looks like it's going to be enjoyable or interesting. And then, yeah, we got to Earth and
Yeah, that general was not convincing. The other guy was pretty good. We met our doctor character. Yeah, just, opening scene didn't, kind of off to a rough start. And this does kind of get to the core of my criticism, I think, which is, why are we even on Earth? Or why are we even in space? You know what I mean? Like, we got this sort of convoluted thing to kind of get them into space, but then they're going to be drilling. Like, you know what I mean? So
yeah, it is. it is sort of Armageddon meets Alien, and so that's, I think, why they had to have it in space, because they're like, we're going to make an Alien ripoff, so it has to be in space, you know?
You see, okay, so this is what I'm trying. Like, I think my core criticism. I think in the sense that the movie does itself a disservice by trying to compare itself to Alien. You know what I mean? Like, I hate to start rewriting the movie already, but I was like, cut this whole space part out. Why isn't it just about mining? Like, why isn't it just, stick to the title, like it says, within the rock? Let's be underground. Let's be digging. Let's not, it has this whole save the world kind of angle, and it has this whole, space thing. But really, that's never the part that's working for me. The parts that are awesome is the mining stuff and the underground stuff. And if you did that, it can be like Alien, but you're not thinking right away, okay, this is going to be like Alien. You know what I mean? So I think it does a huge disservice. Like,
I think I get what you're saying, because arguably it could still be set in the future, so you've got that future tech, but they're mining deeper than anyone's ever mined before. And then they actually have a reason for having some way of deciphering the hieroglyphics, because it could be Earth hieroglyphics. It's something that, that ancient man hid deep in the Earth or something like that, or even some sort of precursor, like aliens could have even come and left it in the Earth. But yeah, it could be on Earth, leaving out the space stuff. You could even still need the atmosphere generators, because you go down far enough and the carbon dioxide builds, or you don't have enough oxygen or something like that.
Oh, I think there's so many ways to make it work. I just feel like it's like right out of the gate, it's doing itself a huge disservice to try and be Alien. Like Ric Flair says, to beat the man, to be the man, you gotta beat the man. And in this case, the man is Alien. Well, they didn't need to pick that as their opponent. If this could have been a cool mining discover monster movie. It doesn't need to be, Anyway, we'll probably move past it, but I feel like I think it's honestly this movie's biggest weakness, because otherwise, I've got a lot of good things to say. Like, I actually really liked the script, and I thought it had really good lines in it.
I would agree for the most part. Like, the banter between the miners, I thought was really good. They didn't have much, like, how could I put it? They didn't have much subtlety to their characters, but they still developed their characters a bit. And the performances were, for the most part, from good to competent. There was one performance that I thought was just horrible, but for the most part, the performances were pretty competent.
Well, I thought there was some real standout performances actually in this movie. Interestingly enough, it seems that the characters I really liked seem to be the first to die, and often off screen. Yeah, often off screen. But we got Xander Berkeley. He's playing Captain Ryan. He was great. He was amazing.
Yep.
The perfect kind of asshole. He's got I'm all in for a bit of penetration. Like that. As soon as he said that, I'm like, oh, this guy's he's great. And we might remember him from other stuff. He was in The Walking Dead. He's in The X-Files. He's in Terminator 2. He's in Amistad. He's in Sid and Nancy. He's in a bunch of stuff. I loved him in Walking Dead. He's a bit older, but he's playing like another kind of jerk character. And I think he's amazing in this movie. I kind of missed Ryan the moment he left the screen.
Yeah, although I knew he wasn't dead, because they came to a shot of him on the ground not moving, and I'm like, he's still alive. Now, you mentioned Terminator. Did you notice the 3 Terminator connections in this movie?
No, please tell me.
We have Xander Berkeley, who plays John Connor's foster dad, the one guy that got the knife through the mouth and at the back of the head while drinking milk from the carton.
I love it. I love that
in
scene.
The opening scene on Earth, the boss of the company was played by Earl Bowen, who plays the psychologist in both Terminator 1 and 2. I can't remember if he's in 3, but he's definitely in the first 2. And
I
then
knew I recognized him. He was great.
Yep.
He was great. Yeah, keep going.
And lastly, Samantha Newcomb was played by Barbara Patrick, who is married to Robert Patrick.
Oh, yeah. I want to talk about Barbara Patrick quite a bit, because to me, the character I loved most, although not perfect, but I loved Sam Newcomb Rogers, and
Yeah, she was
I
great.
was so I was so pleased to see. I'm like, oh, Robert Patrick produced this, and it's the Robert Patrick, and then I was like, oh, she's married to Robert Patrick, and I see her later in a Lord of Illusions film that I really love. Yeah, no, I honestly, you want to talk about her character a bit because I really liked her. She had some of the greatest greatest moments in the movie, maybe.
Yeah, I thought she was, for the most part, really good character. There was one moment where she just got emotional out of nowhere.
That made no sense. Yeah, because we set up this super cool character, and you know, we make her like she's so badass. She's called Newcomb. She does this scene where she's like, "Kill him, I'll blow him to pieces," and she mentions like every explosive that she has, including a special cocktail she put together. I mean, she's awesome, right? Like,
Yeah, and I think of note is the weapon she uses, which is arguably it's a mining tool, but it's a gun that shoots drill bits that drill into things, and then they've got charges on them, so they drill in and then they explode.
I loved it. I love them showing it off. I love them using it against the creature. I love the fact that she gets one in her own head. I was in love
I
with
cracked
this,
up
with
when that
special effects.
happened. Like
That was
that,
awesome.
it was great. Now,
Yeah, when
one thing,
she goes all emotional out of nowhere,
yeah,
that made no sense to me. They tried to give her character. I think they just tried to give her some depth or something, and she has a scene. She's like, Newcomb's not even my real name or something like that, and then she starts crying. And don't get me wrong, I thought the performance was fine. It was just, why is this scene here? Why are you making the coolest character in the movie not cool?
yeah, it was out of place.
All I can see is faces. Being Newcomb is the only way I get respect. You know the thing too is I don't know why, but on the subtitles for mine, Newcomb was spelt Newcombe, like Newcomb, like that was her name. It took me looking her up, because I'm like, who is this? And I was like Newcomb, Nuke, apostrophe EM, Newcomb. That's her name. I don't know. Like I kind of laughed, it was like some joke being played on me. It's but we basically have, we get a really cool sequence where we're introducing all the characters. We're kind of showing them, showing us their talents, what they do, and giving us a little bit of their personality.
We're also seeing their equipment and their sort of I want to say like space pod or whatever it is. They're like base in that. So we get a good look at like the set and setting.
Yeah, nice long shots of the crew, showing us, not telling us. I thought there was pretty good miniature work for that vehicle thing, or that whatever that mining thing you want to call. I thought that was pretty. As far as I can tell, it was a miniature, but it looked. I thought it looked great. It blended right in, and we got this video game called Battle Scars, and he's playing with like a power glove.
You know what it
got some heavy
reminded me
metal
of?
music.
It was
What's that?
Stratagema from The Next Generation, Star Trek The Next Generation, the game that Data plays where he's got the gloves and he's wiggling his fingers.
Yeah.
So when they started doing that, I was chuckling.
Yeah, if they start doing that weird twitchy face that guy does in that episode, I'm out. Battle Scars was great. Got a great callback at the end. It was memorable enough that it stuck through. Which brings us to an important question, Nick. What do you think, what's the secret champion of this movie? Is it Battle Scars or is it Meatloaf? Because we get a couple Meatloaf references, and Meatloaf was kind of a star.
Okay, those must have flown right over my head. What Meatloaf references were there?
We get a Meatloaf joke earlier on, and then later on there is actually serving meatloaf, I believe. So
okay.
I thought it was pretty good. This movie is very alien, okay, which we've already said, but I think it's its biggest problem. So it's doing the whole mess hall scene where they all gather at the mess hall, and it's just super alien. Um, but we get a character that I loved, the trucker guy, kind of with the beard, the trucker cap, and the beard.
Potter. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
played
sort of the
by
mechanic
Dwayne
guy.
Whitaker. Yes, yes, he's played by Dwayne Whitaker. Do you recognize him from anything?
Yeah, he played the pawn shop owner in Pulp Fiction.
Boo, yeah, he did. He's also in a Feast, which is one we might want to watch later on because I think it's the same director and him. I loved that guy. As soon as I saw him in this movie, I'm like, he's awesome.
Now, I would also like to mention Bradford Tatum, the actor that played Cody.
Mhm.
When he first started showing up, like, and you see the first scenes of him, I figured there's always an asshole character in the group, and I thought it was going to be him. It turned out it was the captain of the miners, but I think he actually turned out to be the hero of the movie. Like, we've got the lead, which is Carolyn Barclay, but she was wooden in this movie, where he was actually giving a really good performance and sort of saved the day.
Yeah, he has growth. He loses his buddy, or is it supposed to be his brother? And he was kind of the Bill Pullman character, I thought, at the beginning, and then, you know, it seemed like all the characters I liked died off screen pretty early, but
Well, not
he
too
was
early,
good.
because the first death happens over halfway into the movie.
Oh, really? Is it that late?
Yeah, it's about the 43 or 44 minute mark before someone dies. And this movie is only 87 or 89 minutes or so. So,
Well, it's a pretty cool setup. Like the Nexicon company, with these blue collar workers. The captain's lighting a cigarette off of a laser at one point, which I thought was just amazing. We have the heavy metal music, and then we have like a little bit of classical music kind of in the background too. What did you think about the music of this movie?
well, when it came to the actual score, I only noticed it at a couple moments. Um, it didn't seem like it really stood out.
Yeah, to me it was I think it could have been a little bit bolder. Like at one point it was playing the Romeo and Juliet was that Dance of the Nights or whatever, and another part it had like Bolero, but it was not really. It could have been a little bolder. Like it should have just stuck with its musical choices and just gone all out with it, I think. But I was listening. I was kind of digging the music in this movie. They were trying for something. Uh,
Now, one thing I'd like to bring up is the platinum, because one of the things the miners don't want to be doing this job, saving the earth, because they're not going to be making barely any money off of it. Leaving aside the fact that if you don't save the earth, you don't have anywhere to save what little money you're going to make. But they find that platinum box, and I think it said it was about 340 pounds of platinum, pure platinum, which comes to be worth about $8 million roughly. I might be off on that, but just from doing a quick Google search, that seemed to be the value of the platinum. Versus the priceless value of the artifact itself and all the writing on it. Proof of an alien civilization. Like, that would be worth billions and billions of dollars.
yeah, I think they kind of hit on that too. Like she kept saying, you're going to use you would use the Dead Sea Scrolls as toilet paper, and yeah, that's kind of this movie reminded me of The Gate. Sorry, The Keep, the Michael Mann movie. I know me and you watched that together, and we're probably
Is
gonna
that the
come back to
vampire
it.
movie?
No, it's the one where like the Nazis kind of they dig into this like keep place and they awaken like a demon thing.
Okay. Yeah. Now I remember. I know the one you're talking about now. Yeah.
It's amazing. Again, too, Michael Mann knows how to like give these interior spaces that are alien looking and really like again it's kind of it's close. It's close. I had a little bit of Keep vibes coming from this, especially with the artifact itself. And then have you ever seen Dark Star? I kept thinking about Dark Star. I don't know. Maybe I'm just trying a little hard
I don't
here.
believe
But
I've
have you
seen
seen that
that.
one yet?
No.
We're gonna watch it. It's gonna be on our list down the road. It's John Carpenter's like first thing, And maybe it's just the guy with the beard, in a spaceship. You don't see that very often. Just reminded me of Dark Star, but that whole cynicism of the company and all that sort of stuff felt in line with that in the Aliens movie, the as well. Yeah, I don't know. She says, though. I guess the whole idea is, would you sell out the world for money? Which is, again, if they drop the whole saving the world thing, that might not be as big of a problem. Greed itself could just be the thing.
Yeah, because the miners could just be, yeah, we're not going to get any of that money, so we'll just take the platinum.
Okay, so we have about 6.5 minutes left. We haven't got to our first death. We're gonna, and we've just awakened the monster. We've got the oxygen rising thing, which is cool. But when the sequence of the creature coming alive, the glorpy sounds and the body crackling, and all that sort of stuff, that I think this is where you're getting your money.
Oh yeah, that looked great. I thought the monster, when it was just walking around, didn't look particularly good, but when it was reforming, that effect I thought was great.
Oh, I thought that was amazing. Atmosphere pressure going down, beeping, the aliens coming alive. There's these great sounds, this goop, this eerie music, excellent dissolves, all this viscera, flesh crunching sounds. It was spellbinding. Like, when it unmelts and kind of comes alive, and there's like this whooshing noise. That's pure cinema. Like, I thought that, I was just like, this is absolutely amazing. And I was like, okay, I'm in. I believe this thing is alive now. And now, we've kind of got everything set that we need to know. You've got our mining people. We've got an explosives expert. We've got a creature that's alive. We know the movie Alien. I think we kind of know where this is going. I got a huge laugh out of the fact that when the guy's like looking for Dwayne's character, the Porter, he said, and they're like, "Oh yeah, man, you're leaking coolant all over the ground." I laughed so hard. I thought that was so great. He thought the blood was coolant, and that was amazing.
Yeah, I was that I thought was good. The only thing I didn't like about that is we didn't see the first kill. We just saw the aftermath of it. Mind you,
yeah.
the reveal was good.
I loved it. I think not. I was disappointed. I'm like, oh, really? He's gonna die off screen, and then they got this cool joke out of it, and I was like, no, okay, that's good. I'm good with this. All right, well, we got 4.5 minutes left. There, Nick. So.
Well, I think we should maybe talk about the climax, because they figured out that they could use fire extinguishers to drive it back or hold it in place because it can't breathe fire extinguisher exhaust. So they decide they're going to use the fire extinguishers to trap it in front of one of the big mining drills and just drill the sucker. And it seems like it's going fine, and then all of a sudden Ryan, out of nowhere, starts attacking them almost in a suicidal way because the monster's still there. If they don't kill it, the monster's going to kill him. So, but yeah, then the fight ensues.
Yeah, I love the whole setup to that. I thought was brilliant. They give you all the rules for the monster, which I love. I love that monsters have rules. They establish the rules. It's a carnivore. Here's what it's gonna do. Here's its weaknesses. Here's its strengths. They had a wicked suiting up sequence. I also like how they kind of stumble onto their plan because of a burnt omelet. I love that. Again, I really like this screenplay. Like it just, I don't know, it to me kind of sung. It had enough references to movies and like lines like "Adios muchachos" and nice shooting text and stuff like that all the way through it. That just, I don't know. And they referred to the monster as the mummy. I don't know, or the floating Alcatraz. Like, I don't know, just things like that. I thought I really enjoyed the dialogue.
Yeah. Now being a made-for-TV movie, it is a low-budget movie. I think, though, that they ran out of some money at the end because they have to escape on the rover, which was very clearly a golf cart. And then they get to the ship, and they set off the explosion that's supposed to sort of vent out through the tunnels they've dug, shoving this rogue moon, the planetoid that they're on, out of the way from colliding with Earth. And they press the button, and then you see it go recalculating, and then it's a different line. And I'm like, oh, I wanted to see, even if the effects are bad, I wanted to see that flare coming out of the side of the planet as it moves out of the way.
I don't know, to me, the less CG planet I see, the better. The more I could forget that this was in space, the better. Although it was pretty cool to see them in the ship, you know what I mean? And like, did we do it? Didn't we do it? I kind of have to admit, like, I didn't really care about those characters, and then by the end I was like, okay, I kind of want them to live. So
Yeah, I would agree for the most part, with the exception of the female lead, because her performance was just so wooden that I would have preferred if Nukem had lived.
oh man, Nukem was my favorite character. I loved her, and I loved the actress that was playing her. I was just smitten with Nukem. Yeah, she was. The doc was a little wooden. I was probably what she was given. We get the cool
Yeah.
joke at the end. Anybody want to play Battle Scars? You know, as they're floating away. Um, yeah, I don't know. This the movie tries to keep up with the Alien, tries to keep up with some of the best. What do you think about the sets? We don't have too much time, but you want to talk
I thought
about
the
the sets?
interior sets were really good. The outside sets, when you saw the cave walls, they didn't look good. But I think they actually knew what looked good and what didn't look good. Like, the spacesuits didn't look good. The cave walls didn't look good. So they made it very poorly lit in there, which leans towards the horror. Uh, but then on the interiors, they lit those well. And I thought those sets looked great. Like, the doors open, there's a little shh, like that
Yep.
sound as they open and close. I thought the interior sets were fantastic. Looked like a lived-in place.
I agree. Yeah, I thought they were pretty good. Pretty good. And I like the idea of filming like in a cave, you know what I mean? So that's to me always exciting because it's like you get this controlled lighting and sound and I don't know. It was great. Oh, there's our timer. Our timer is up. That is telling us that we are no longer allowed to talk about the movie. And we have to now come to our final verdict, where each of us must decide if the movie was to be or not to be. Nick, you chose this film, so that means you go first. Give us your final verdict and your thoughts leading up to it.
Well, it's a low-budget, made-for-TV movie. It's so you know to a certain degree, what you're getting into. That said, performances were great for the most part, and the movie, while it didn't have anything novel to it, was still enjoyable enough to watch. So even with all those warts and flaws, I'd say it's 2B.
Nice. I okay, so it's trying to do the alien thing, and this is not Alien. And what I did love, I liked the mining stuff a lot. I wished it kind of went in that direction and leaned more in that way. I kept thinking like, I see what this movie's going for. It's almost achieving it. And then every once in a while, the movie would kind of completely surprise me with something, kind of like, oh, that was clever. That was pretty good. Um, so it was a little rough at the beginning. But I was definitely on board, and like you, it's a made-for-TV movie. Maybe we should give it a little bit of that grace. It's also it's on Tubi, so the price is always worth admission. But I gotta say this movie for me was Tubi, because by the end of it I really enjoyed it. I could see myself recommending it, and maybe give people some low budget film ideas, and it just had some characters that I was like, oh, they're cool, and I'm Tubi as well. So yay, we did it. That's both of us two Tubies. I don't know what we call that, but we got the two Tubies. This movie passed, so that was great. All right, well, Nick, thank you so much for joining me here, and yeah, we did it. We somehow within 25 minutes managed to talk about this movie. If you left anything on the cutting room floor, it's just going to have to remain there. But hey, thank you very much for recommending this movie for us.
Oh, you're very welcome.
And thank you very much, audience, for joining us as well. Now, that brings us to next week's movie, which will be my choice. And for next week, I want us to watch King of New York.
Is that the Daniel Day-Lewis
that one
movie?
Yet? Sorry?
Is that the one with Daniel Day-Lewis? Oh, no, that's
Nope.
Gangs of New York.
No,
I
not
am
Gangs
not
of New York.
familiar with King of New York. I know of the King of New York board game, but I believe that I don't think these would be associated.
Well, I'm excited to hear what you have to say about this movie, and excited to talk about it next week myself. So hopefully everyone will be joining us next week as we start talking about movies and decide whether or not it's to be or not to be.
Yeah, I look forward to watching it and discussing it with you. And if you want to have a better understanding of what we're talking about, you may wish to watch it beforehand.
Oh yeah. Or you could get a review from us and then decide.
Yep.
Either way, thank you very much, folks. See you all next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.